There's days where I just get tired of being cooped up in the shop. But today, not one of those days. Did I mention the wind's blowing? Back inside. Good day to work on the Oldsmobile. Yep, gonna be hanging out in this vicinity today. Time to build a bumper. So, this isn't going to be too terrible bad. Pretty much what we're gonna do, cut the ends off, and all we're gonna keep is just the center section. Because with the whole back end of the car being re-engineered, nothing's gonna fit, so we'll have to build pretty much everything. So the first challenge went to move the bumper into place, and that's as far as it's gonna go. Show you what's going on. So here's the problem. Our brackets are hitting that panel we made for the taillight, so gotta notch that out. We do that, then we can get the bumper into place and then find out what the next problem is going to be. So we got it fitting again. Well, sort of. You can see how much got changed from this round to the last. Originally, this shape went right down, but on the stock bumper, like this part's huge. So we cut that off, just had this line taper down into the corner, and then this body line had it line up with the body line on the quarters. Turned out not too bad, but the quick and easy way to finish this up would be to just have this line up with the edge of the taillight, do a little curve there, just kind of reshape this corner, get it to line up. But like I said, that's the quick and easy. We decided to do something different. So here's what we came up with. What we're gonna do, rotate the bumper out to this line, and then it'll just curve up into the bottom of the taillight. That way this curve matches the curve on the side of the body a bit better, because that would just be too tight, and this kind of looks stock-ish, which is kind of the idea. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing on the ends. So that's what we were thinking for the end. Have the curve start down there and just tapers down. Not too sure. Well, the idea right now is have it tie into that corner. Just not too sure if that's going to get built out or how exactly all this is going to get shaped. This is going to evolve as we go, but that's the idea. Have it look similar to the original bumper, just a little more refined. So first step, we got to get the bumper rolled out and positioned where it's going to be, and then start cutting and shaping and working our way through this. So I trimmed this edge back, got it reasonably straight, then I got the bumper rolled back. All I did there was just, you can see right there, I just sliced the bracket, bent this out. For now, I'm just going to tack a piece over top. But I'll put a little piece in the middle, weld that up. Then I got to cap this, finish this off. But it'll work for now. Yeah, you change one thing, you're changing a whole bunch of things. With the bumper rolled back and trimmed up, you can kind of see what we're going for. That's the curve it's going to have. But Yeah, I can kind of see it now. I don't know about you guys, but I can see it. It's going to look pretty good. And you look over here, this is starting to line up the way it's supposed to. Yeah, this is going to look good. So I'll try to explain the reasoning behind doing these ends the way we are. If you look up front, you follow that line all the way around, kind of lines up to the bottom, and then the bumper kind of follows the same shape of the fender. So if you look back here, that's about 4 inches. That's about 4 inches. You measure to there, it's about 4.5. And you come down here, it's about 4.5. So if you measure out here, that's 4.5. So this curve, when it comes up, will be very similar to that curve there. It's going to come out be a little different out here, but that's the idea. So welcome to the inside of my head, trying to figure out all this crap, how I'm going to build it, how I'm going to build it in one shot so I'm not wasting a bunch of time redoing stuff. And yeah, stressing out about stuff that nobody's ever going to notice. I guess that's the idea. If you do it right, nobody's going to notice. You screw it up, everybody's going to notice. So I got it all trimmed up and leveled out, ready to go. Not much left of it. So I got the brackets stitched together, holding them in place. Got everything all tightened down and ready to start building. So, time to start building. So here's one of the pieces we cut off. I'll show you what we're doing. The way I do this, I take roundbar, make a framework that kind of establishes the shape, and I just take pieces of metal, shape them, and weld them in. This is 14 gauge, so you can't exactly bend it over your knee, but hit it with a hammer, it takes shape, and you just weld it in. And then you get it all done, smoothed off, looking decent. The plan changes and you get to cut it off, throw it in the trash, and do it all over again. So we're going to start making these two pieces. This we're going to do a little different. Just no point making the same thing over again. What I'm thinking we'll do, I want to build this up a bit. Not a whole lot, kind of like that there. Just a small little amount. And then this piece here, I want to give it a little bit more of a curve. Kind of soften it up a little bit. And what I was thinking, up here, is just match the curve there for the outside, and then match that angle on the inside, just like that. That'll change it up a little bit. And then once we get this corner established, then the curve, it's got someplace to go. Then we can put the curve in. Once this is in, we can build this piece, because this goes around and then ties into the curve. So that's all there is to it. Nothing complicated. Lucky guess. There's our pieces. To kind of go like this. And then curved piece comes down, ties into the point. Really simple. Let's get these pieces welded in. So what you do, this piece gets clamped to the bumper, kind of where it needs to be. Then the other one gets tacked onto there. You just kind of eyeball it, roughly kind of sort of where it lines up, and you tack them together, and there you go. Nothing to it. Kinda sorta like that, I guess. It'll work. So that's the idea. We're gonna fine tune it as we go, but that's the starting point. So now let's make the upright piece. Connect the dots. There to there. So that's what that curve looks like. Figure I'd do this side first. Give me a chance to figure out what I'm doing before I turn the camera on. So what I did, see that line right there? I just used that as a guide. Bent it to match, kinda. That got this curve. Lines up pretty good. Works good with the quarter panel. So that turned out good. And if we scooch over to this side, it's got a nice curve to it. Matches the bumper nice. So yeah, I think that's going to work. It's when you look at it from this angle, it looks okay. It's just something's just not quite right. I think there's in there something just, I don't know, doesn't quite look right. So after staring at it for a while, came up with this. Just reshape that curve to match that line there. I don't know. I think we may be onto something here. So you look at it now, I mean, that definitely helps. But, I'm gonna try something. So I bent the piece for the other side, match the curve, because why wouldn't you? Just using it to visualize. And, yeah, I don't know. Kind of looks better like that. So I think what I'll do, I'll cut it loose there and just angle that piece in a little bit. See what that does. Not going to hurt. I don't know. I think that looks better. That part sticks out a little more than the rest, and then it tapers in. Kind of like it should. Yeah. If we get too close, that's going to screw us up on that that curve, but I think that'll work. Matches the quarter nice. Yeah, I think that'll work. That's looking better. Yeah. Those two lines match up nice. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, you step back and look. It's got a nice line, nice curve. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now the question is, do I cut the quarter panel or do I not cut the quarter panel? You know what? That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think that'll work. The fact that I really do not want to cut that quarter panel anymore might have a little bit to do with it, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. So here's our piece. That curve matches that curve. The sharp bend starts there, ends there, and if both sides of the card match, cut it off right there. I'm not going to cut it yet because, well, I know better. Let's try this again. So it's actually pretty close. Gotta fine tune this a little bit. And our cut line's actually pretty close. Got it, bring it out there. It'll be actually pretty close. Huh. There you go. So there we go. That's the thinking part done. Next step, all we gotta do is just follow that line. there we go. So next step, just cut pieces of metal, shape them, and just start piecing them in. The way I do it, butt the metal up against this, then I can run a weld bead down the edge. Gives me lots of material to put a nice radius on the edge, and yeah, that's the idea. And then with it connected like that, that keeps everything in place while you're welding. In the end, you just cut it off, get rid of that little bit. Same thing at the bottom. Actually works pretty good. There's probably better ways of doing it, but yeah, this works. I think this side turned out better than the other side, which usually how it goes. But that's it. All done. So what's next? Well, this is going to be it for a while. The client came by a few days ago. He really likes this. Likes pretty much everything we've done so far. Likes the shape. Likes how it's all smoothed off. But he doesn't like the LEDs. He has a bunch of concerns. A few of them are, it looks futuristic and it looks good, but does not suit the car at all. Then there's the obvious, how long are these little LEDs going to last? And when they start burning out, what are the chances of finding another strip that's exactly the same dimensions as this to replace it? You know, it's all valid concerns. I've been bringing up those concerns since they first came up with this idea. I've been overruled every single time. So, now what do we do? So I dug out the stock taillights. I think I figured out a way we can mount them and not have to completely rebuild the whole back of the car. It's not going to be easy, but I think I might be able to make it work. Don't have to replace all of this, but a good chunk of it. And oh yeah, got to cut that all apart again too. So we're having a meeting, obviously. We're going to have a little chat, get this settled once and for all, and figure out which way we're going to go. This is ridiculous. So we finally had our meeting, and I thought we're going to go over all the jobs that are left. The idea being, anything you want to change, say so now or forever hold your peace. He's good with all this. What he doesn't like is that. Yeah, doesn't like any of this, but we're not changing it. I was like, are you sure? It's not that big a deal to put stock taillights back in. No, just carry on with this. Are you sure? Asked him a bunch of times. Are you sure? It's like, yes, just carry on with this. Okay. So that was a whole bunch of stress for absolutely no reason. Thank you for that. There's one little change we're going to make with the taillight. I'll show you what that is. So there's the compromise. I guess you can call it that. All we're going to do is just block out the lights in the middle. Make it look like two instead of one. Which doesn't look, doesn't look too bad. Still think he's better off going with stock, but oh well. Maybe you got the one strip of LEDs where none of them will ever burn out. Yeah, good luck with that. So the problem with this project is there's too many chefs in the kitchen. I'm trying to build the car that the client wants. The other guy is building the car that he wants. And the client keeps listening to the other guy. And he ends up with this. And he doesn't like it. So from my experience with this project, when things start getting stupid like this, it's a good sign things are about to go sideways. At this point, all I want to get the metal work done, get this thing in first primer so I can see it looking like a car. That's my goal, because I have so many hours into this thing. I want to see it done. Whether or not that's actually going to happen, we'll see. Well, next video, it's going to be, I want to start closing the sides in and start building a bumper. See how it goes. Catch you later.